Hi, readers. We are still meeting characters along the way. We've gotten to know our characters so well that we actually became the characters, right? Like me and Emma, we are Fancy Nancy. Well, Emma really is. But I've read so many books that I feel like I'm just like Fancy Nancy. This week we were working on reading fluently and changing our voices, and we learned that by reading smoothly, it helps us to remember the story that we're reading. So today, I want to teach you that stories are like fortune cookies. Have you guys ever eaten Chinese food and had a fortune cookie and you open it and there's a message inside? Well, today, when you open up a story, you can find out that there's life lessons in it. So we will learn lessons from the stories we read by thinking what the story taught you. So we're going to do that with the book that we read, Fancy Nancy, the Splendid Speller. Before we do that, we have to make sure that we remember the problem and the solution. So we need to think. The problem means what goes wrong in the story. And the solution is how the problem is fixed. I'm going to skim through the book so that we can remember the problem and solution, okay? All right. So Fancy Nancy's a splendid speller, and her teacher told them that they're going to have their first spelling test. And Nancy and Bree were so excited because they think they're the best spellers ever, right? She goes home and she practices, and she's studying her words like you guys do, right? And then she's taking the test, and she can't remember the word giggle. We're coming to the problem. And then she does something wicked. She says, look at her eyes. Look what she's doing. She's peeking at Bree's paper. Oh my goodness. And look how she feels about it. Look at her face. She looks like she feels guilty. Like, I can't look. I can't do this. And then look how sad she is about it. She can't play with the kids. She can't even eat. She's not singing in music. Wow, this is a big problem, right? She wanted to cheat on her test and she feels so guilty about it. And then she gets her test back and she got one word wrong. And then Nancy, she confesses, she tells Miss Glass what happened. And then Miss Glass says, you didn't cheat. You stopped yourself before you even cheated. So, we're going to think the problem was that Fancy Nancy felt so bad about almost cheating. And the solution was she told her teacher the truth. And she didn't even cheat. So guess what, guys? We are going to learn lessons from stories that we read by thinking what the story taught you. And you can do that by saying this sentence after you read it. This story teaches me that, and I did this one for you. I said, this story teaches me that honesty is the best policy. Because even though Nancy didn't cheat, she thought she did, and she couldn't get it off of her mind. She was so worried the whole time in school, right? And then when she told Miss Glass said, you didn't cheat. You stopped yourself. So because Nancy was honest and she spoke to her teacher, she felt so much better. And this is something that you guys can learn in real life too, right? Isn't it better to always tell the truth? Honesty is the best policy. So today, readers, you are going to read a book, and tomorrow, as you read that book, you can think, I can learn a lesson from a story I read by thinking what the story has taught me. So, when you finish, you can ask yourself and say the sentence, this story teaches me that, Alright, guys, off you go on your reading adventures.